Hello and welcome to the Rebel Mama podcast, season 4 finale.
Woohoo!
I'm Aleks Jassem.
And I'm Nikita Stanley. And today we are
Solo.
Woohoo!
But together.
But
So
together.
it's the best.
We're never really alone.
No, not in this world. Not in
this
life.
world. But we do still have a fun episode planned for you. A little retrospective, a little audience ask me anything, a little rundown of all the things that we personally think are overrated and underrated.
And a little rapid fire for each other.
That's right.
Which we haven't been briefed on, so I don't know what will come out of my mouth. Hopefully it's...
Time will tell. But let's start with what we loved most about this season.
I mean, our guests were amazing.
Correct.
I loved all of them. They were like a wealth of information.
Yes.
I'm endlessly inspired by them. I think if I had to choose what was personally the most, like what resonated the most, was Anna for me, because she's an artist.
Yes.
And I have an artist soul too, but I've always treated it like a hobby. So hearing her speak about making it a business and treating it as an entrepreneur, that kind of like made sense to me and kind of put me on the right path mind frame wise. It's like, how do I make this thing that is so good for my spirit and that's like a hobby actually monetize it and make it my life? So
that was super valuable. I mean, there was so many. I just like the idea of pleasure in a way that you don't necessarily think about it. Like I really liked the psychedelics conversation with Rebecca. I like the kind of more wellness niche stuff. I feel like, because that's, we all talk about self-care and what that looks like, but it can just be so many things that it's good to expand our perception of like what's good for us, what brings us pleasure.
And it could be simple things. So like food, for example, that's something we have to do every day. We cook family meals and do all the things. So how can that be a source of pleasure instead of this obligation or responsibility, right?
Ditto for design.
Same. Yeah, exactly.
It's like what you're surrounded by all the time. Those are kinds of the best things to tap into as a form of pleasure because you're enmeshed in them. Like it's everywhere all the time.
What else did we talk about? Who else was there? Sex, obviously.
Yeah,
that's
obviously.
always fun to talk about. That's like pleasure.
Yeah. Exactly.
Style.
Yes.
With Irene. So even just putting thought into that can change your whole vibe.
Yeah.
Or the way the day unfolds for you.
Totally. Travel, obviously. We knew that was going to be a big source of pleasure. It always is. But yeah, anything that kind of like expands your mind and expands your perception of things can bring you pleasure.
Yeah. So get out there and get pleasured. Does that even make sense?
Yeah, it does. Okay. Pleasured as a verb. Have you changed how you think about pleasure these days, or have you always thought about pleasure
I
like
always
this?
seek it out.
Yes.
Like I think I can find pleasure in pretty much anything. So I do love that idea of do everything with love and purpose kind of thing. So if you go for a walk, that could be pleasurable. It's a very simple thing. Or if you make breakfast, that could be pleasurable if you put yourself into it and do it with love.
Yeah.
But I think seeking it out and focusing on the positives and focusing on the pleasure and beauty of things instead of the negatives and like falling into that spiral of complaining and seeing the bad is how I try to do it. What about you, babe?
I feel like this season has put into perspective the importance of mindfulness when it comes to pleasure. Like, as you said, if you're on a walk, you can just be on a walk and not be paying attention. And you can hate it. And it can be terrible.
Yeah.
But if you let yourself kind of like fall into the little details of things and be like taken by the beauty of a flower. Right. I know that sounds like so cliche.
I mean, smoking weed helps.
It sure does. But yeah, like mindful, even when it comes to, if you want to talk about weed or psychedelics, like mindful consumption of those things, mindfulness and like the breath work that you get from the contrast therapy that we were talking about with Robbie, mindfulness in design, mindfulness in how you get dressed. It's just like that extra step of realizing that maybe how you're perceiving things could be different and it could be better.
Or like what you said with the walk, the app, the wellness, the app that Othership has with the meditation for the walking.
Totally.
Like you could easily just go for a walk and listen to the noise of the city and be annoyed, or like be working at the same time, or have your face down in your phone. But why not use that time to like listen to music or listen to a meditation like that, or learn something new, right?
Yeah.
So you decide where you find those moments, like you can carve it out.
Breathwork is such a good example of that too, because we all are breathing at all times.
Yes. Hopefully.
If we're lucky, then we're all, but you know, when you really become mindful about the cadence of your breath, it becomes a totally
It's a game changer. Experience. And we both put ourselves to sleep with breathwork now. And it is such a game changer, because I do find when you're stressed, you hold your breath.
Totally.
Your shoulders are up and everything is kind of tense up here. Whereas like if you incorporate breath work and you start practicing, you know how to take your body down. You know how to relax your nervous system. You can do that for yourself. So if you're anxious and you're stressed at night and you can't sleep, breath work is like the best thing you can do. It beats out melatonin, anything else, right?
Totally.
So
a little combo of breath work and edibles is really good too.
We recommend breathwork and edibles for a good night's sleep.
You heard it here first. Okay, let's pause for a quick break here. And when we get back, we'll hop into the Ask Us Anything questions.
This will be fun.
Posed by the audience. So hang tight and join us after the break. When families break up, relationships become strained, positions harden, and finances become uncertain. This is exactly when you need to get in touch with Julie Tyus and the incredible team at Tyus Family Law. We searched for an entire year to find the right lawyer to add to our RMX directory. During that time, Julie came highly recommended to us by multiple sources, with everybody raving about her legal acumen as well as her kindness and empathy. Julie is responsive and approachable, and her objective is straightforward: guiding clients toward a much happier place in their lives calmly, clearly, and as painlessly and cost-effectively as possible. Visit tyusfamilylaw.ca, that's TYAS familylaw.ca, to learn more or to arrange a free 20-minute consultation with one of the experts on the Tyus Family Law team. You won't regret it. Okay, we are back and we have audience questions.
Ask us anything.
Yes.
It's nice because they're PG rated.
I was going to say they're pretty tame.
Nobody got crazy.
No, maybe we didn't.
We'll throw it to Clay and
oh yeah,
Dylan.
Maybe our producers want to ask us a question. That'll be interesting. Okay, let's start with the first one. You can answer first, okay?
Okay.
What is your go-to lazy homemade meal?
Pasta.
Yeah, no, same. Which kind of pasta?
Honestly, it's like whatever I have in the fridge, that becomes the pasta. If it's green stuff, then it's green pasta. It's like broccoli and like, you know, Brussels sprouts or whatever. Otherwise, it's tomatoes and garlic. Sometimes we do the whole olive oil, parm and garlic or just butter.
Yeah.
Like pasta, because it's done in like 8 minutes. Totally. And you can throw fucking anything in there and every kid loves pasta.
Yes.
You can't do wrong.
Yeah. Mine is also pasta. I make a really good lemon olive oil pasta.
Yes, you do. Mm.
It's delish. But then, yeah, you can just toss like...
You can do whatever.
Either you can steam, like my kids love like French beans.
Yeah.
So I'll just steam those on the side and then cover the whole plate with Parmesan cheese. Shout out to Parmesan cheese, which is like the true hero.
It really is.
Of the culinary world. Yeah. Just add parm. But yeah, pasta for the win.
Pasta for the win. It's the easiest thing.
Yeah. Okay, next question.
Oof.
This one's a little more complicated.
It's tricky.
How do you balance motherhood, entrepreneurship, friendships, relationships, and sanity?
I don't know about sanity. Well, I think we choose where we want to place our energy and we prioritize things. I also think we live and die by the calendar. I do anyways. Like if it's not in the calendar, it's not happening. So I can kind of like carve out time for this is when I'm going to do my work for Rebel Mama. Here's where I'm going to give my art some time. This is when I'm with my kid. Here's date night and kind of like break it up like that.
Yeah.
I need to break it up for it to make sense. Otherwise I get overwhelmed and it's like too chaotic. And like staying in touch and on top of friendships and relationships is not easy.
No, but you are amazing at it, and you've always been amazing at it, because you fucking lock people down in the calendar.
I do. I lock people down in the calendar. But even if you don't have time to schedule people in real life, because that's really tricky sometimes, just reaching out and sending a voice note and saying, how are you doing? What's going on? Send me back what's happening with you. And people send you back. I think voice notes are amazing because you don't have to have like a time that works for you to talk.
Correct.
But you can stay in touch and you're in touch with each other's lives. And I think that matters a lot for people. Like they need that.
Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that like I don't think that I can have it all at once.
Yeah.
And I just have had to make peace with like, if I'm pursuing one thing, something is getting
focus. Yeah.
left on the wayside, and like it is what it is. That's just
you don't
how
feel
it's
bad
going to be.
about it.
I refuse to feel bad about anything. I feel like guilt is like a silent killer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if I'm doing something, I just try to be present when I'm doing it and not think about the other things that I'm not doing because I'm doing the one thing.
And then you're more productive that way.
Totally. But the scheduling helps. You are definitely super instrumental in that, because
I'm like the producer of our lives.
She is. She manages the like work calendar and the social calendar, because we have all the same friends basically.
Yeah. The guest list.
So I just get like calendar lockdown invites from Aleks, and I'm like, oh, we're having a barbecue in like 8 Saturdays from now.
Like, you're welcome, everybody. Everyone hates it, but they low-key love it.
Of course. Yeah.
It's the Virgo in me. But I do think like with entrepreneurship too, it is a different beast when you're on your own versus we have a partnership. So there is that thing of like, if you can't do something, or you're traveling or you're sick or you're unavailable, someone picks up the slack. And we do that really well for each other. If you're an entrepreneur on your own, that's a lot harder to deal with. That would
be really hard.
Yeah.
Not interested.
Get a partner.
Yeah.
That's your bestie if you can.
Exactly. Okay,
next one is, what's your favorite cocktail? And how much do you drink?
Well, my favorite cocktail is a slightly dirty martini with Hendrick's gin.
Such a classy lady.
Such a classy lady. How much do I drink? I mean, that's a seasonal question.
And depending if you have your Invisalign.
Exactly. Am I wearing my Invisalign at the time? I've definitely drink more in the summer.
Yeah, totally. And around September.
Yeah, exactly. It like peaks in Virgo season for our stupid birthdays.
Up until the holidays, I guess.
And then we reel it back in.
Yeah.
And then the holidays, it goes again. And then we reel it back in again. It's kind of like you got to pick your battles a little bit. But I hate being hungover.
I've cut down, actually.
Yeah.
Because I would just drink often. Not a lot at the same time, but daily.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't drink wine.
No, I don't drink wine, but that's the problem. I only drink liquor.
Right. Okay, so what's your go-to cocktail?
My go-to starter anywhere is usually a tequila Negroni. So I swap the gin for a white tequila, and it's a nice vibe. I do love a martini too, but a clean one.
Yeah.
And then just the liquors, the rums.
Rum on the rocks is delicious.
Rum on the rocks is great.
Yeah.
You just need to know what your mood is and how you're feeling. Like I find like tequila is an upper, rum is the chill one, whiskey if you're tragic and you just want to cry, then whiskey's great for that. That just pads you up with that feeling.
Yeah.
But I have cut down, and I also drink way more water when I'm out drinking.
Yes.
So I pound the waters in between the drinks, and I find that very helpful for hangovers and like general health. But just I don't like waking up hungover either. And it also fucks up your sleep.
Totally. That's why I have a drinking time cutoff. Like if I'm going out, my last drink is like 12:30.
Like,
and then, maybe I'll pop an edible to carry me the
like,
rest of the way if it's like a big night.
We're so responsible now. We're so wise.
I just can't do a hangover.
No, it's the worst, especially when you have kids and sports and like plans. It's the worst.
Too much going on.
And when you're older, it just takes too long to bounce back. I'm not interested.
No, we're not doing that. We're going to sip our martinis. We're going to have water on the side. 2 martinis
Look
max.
at us.
I know. Who would have thought? We should maybe post some pictures of us back in the day in the club.
like drinking like properly
straight out of the bottle. Okay, this one.
Who's your favorite photographer? You, Ariane. Let's
Yes, it's you, Ariane. Thank you for asking.
Where's the camera? You.
Right there. Mine's there. Yours is over here.
You.
Yes, Ariane is number one.
We have so many great photographer friends. Kayla
Rocca.
Yeah. And Mauricio. Hope like, Little. There's so many great photographers in our roster and we love them all. But
Scarlett O'Neill.
Yeah. Ariane has a way of shooting us that like we don't even have to look at it. Like I never worry. She knows what it needs to look like. Yes. And she knows how to make us look and feel our best. And she's great with direction too. And
she knows that we like tap out at like 1.5 hours. We're like, we don't want to do this anymore. Can we go get food?
We get all like cunty and she's like, okay, go get a slice of pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. How do you define sexuality pre and post kids? Did anything change?
I think it goes in ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
Like I think when you have a baby and that first year, you're definitely like, do not come near my vagina.
Yes.
Like I don't want any of that. Your body doesn't want it. Like you don't feel
your hormones.
Yeah. Like you just don't want that. And then I think it comes back and like depending on your age, like once I got into my 40s, like my mojo like came back hard. And I think that has to do with hormones and timing. So
that probably had to do with the age of your child too.
That too, you get more independence.
Yeah.
And you can like get back into that life. But I feel like just listening to your body and leaning into the things that feel right, it's the best thing you can do because it's communicating with you. So just trust that.
Yeah.
If now's not the time, maybe later. And also talking to your partner about it because guys are kind of, they don't know that much about our hormone cycles and how things change and like explaining it to them.
Yeah.
It's not you, it's hormones.
Yeah. Their hormones change too.
Yeah.
And that's something to consider. I just think that like mindfulness, once again, is more important than ever to me in terms of sexuality. Like if my head is somewhere else, like there's no point. Like I have to like get in the game.
You can't connect.
No, like zeros. I can't, and it's not even like I can't connect to my partner. I can't connect to my own body.
Yeah.
Like I have to be in
You're
my
disassociated.
body. Totally. And I won't do that. I actually like if I'm in that headspace, I would rather just like, I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, just do it.
Oh no, like, I would never do that either. I can't like, I gotta get in the mood or like be in the mood.
Yeah.
What makes you in the mood?
You know what?
Nikita's answer to everything.
Once again, I'd like to give a shout out to edibles. I am not like an end of day sexy person.
Mm-hmm. Morning sex is great.
It's all about the morning. And then I've kind of like, if I feel like I'm going to go to bed and I might want to fool around in the morning, I will like amend what I'm sleeping in.
Ooh, put a little perfume oil at night.
Yeah, just so that it's like you're kind of communicating without words that like, yeah, I'm in like a cute little like nighty thing and not my like mom PJ.
Also, like if you feel sexy and confident, it just like oozes out of you and then you create the mood.
Yeah, but you can't like, that's just a way of communicating like, hey, wake me up like this, rather than being like, hello, tomorrow morning at 8:30 I was thinking. So
yeah, scheduled wouldn't be as hot.
No, but like obvious signs of what you want.
It's good to know what you like though.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next one.
Okay, kids. Oh, perfect.
How do you have convos with kids about cannabis?
Pretty openly.
Yeah.
I would say. I mean, my kids know what cannabis is.
Me too.
They know that it's not good for undeveloped brains. And they know that the brain doesn't develop until 25. So hopefully they can abstain as much as possible.
45 for a fully emotionally mature man, if anyone needs stats.
That's the most depressing stat in the entire world. But yeah, they know that it's not for kids.
Yeah.
They know that it can help adults relax. Like adults have busy lives and sometimes they need something to help them relax. Yeah, I don't really make a big effort to like hide it. I don't want my kids to see me like, smoking necessarily.
Yeah, you don't have to smoke in their face, but hiding it would create this want later, right? So they'd be like dying to try it later. Whereas like we're not, I treat it like my bar cart. So my bar cart's out there with all the liquor on it. We have drinks with our friends in front of the kid, like in front of my kid. I don't smoke like right in front of him, but like he sees us sometimes off to the side. Now that he's older, he's 10 now, or like he sees the package around with a little leaf on it or something, and it's nothing. And he's kind of over it already. Like the novelty already wore off, so that's great for later. Where he's not going to be. And to be honest, I'm not worried as much about cannabis use with him later as I am with like chemical drugs or like all that stuff, like pharmaceuticals or whatever. Fentanyl.
I just think about how fucking crazy my friends were whose parents like locked the alcohol cabinets.
Exactly.
Like,
they're
those
the
were the
spring
craziest
breakers.
ones.
They're the ones that go fucking nuts.
The ones that like the Italians that were drinking like a little wine at dinner at the age of like 11 were way better adjusted.
I know my parents were giving me a little bit of like vodka to like kill bacteria. I mean, I'm Polish.
That's very Polish.
Yeah.
That's a super
they're
Polish
like, drink
approach.
a little bit of vodka. It'll kill everything. I mean, they're not wrong.
You're like, have you ever heard of betadine?
I think just like keep it chill and don't make such... It's going to be part of their world. It's legal now. So treat it as such, right? And then, telling them about the negatives and the impacts is important too, right? Just like you tell them not to drink and drive, and it's bad for your liver. Same thing with like your brain and everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Empower them with knowledge.
We love our cannabis.
We do.
And we love our little magic plant. It's given us endless ideas and inspiration. Really, so like I wouldn't want to take that away from them.
No. That's why we're sitting here today.
Yes, it's true. The rebel mama.
Stoner idea. Okay. What is your favorite thing to do without your kids or partner?
Oh my God. Like anything.
Anything becomes an instant favorite.
I love being alone. So like I love being alone in my space. So I can be totally at home alone for hours and never get bored in my own company. I can go on walks. I will take myself out for a dinner date. I could do like the world is your oyster. And I just love not having to do anything for anyone, but also not having to converse and not having to like just be with myself. It's the best feeling.
Yeah. Anything. I'm aligned. There's really not much that I don't enjoy by myself.
We're such loners.
Like little black cats in the corner. Like, we don't need anybody. But yeah, also traveling is fun to do solo or with a friend. Like it kind of makes you feel like you're yourself again.
I guess also when you're not with your partner or your kids, the next best thing is like your girlfriend.
Totally.
Like your bestie and like doing things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, sorry, guys.
Yeah. Okay. How do you politely deal with nosy, in-your-face moms? Daycare, at school, at sports. This person wants some advice other than knocking someone out with an elbow.
What about knocking someone out?
Don't discount knocking people out with an elbow.
I'm saying it's an option. Don't do that, please.
No.
I am really good at creating distance and space and going dark and like kind of like, so giving one word answers if someone's really nosy or like changing the subject or asking them questions so they're talking about themselves more than me, or just like not being around, or pretending to be on my phone is a really good one too, because if I have my earbuds in and I see someone like coming my way, even if I'm listening to music, I literally go into like, oh yeah, we should totally do that and talk about that later on the call. Like, sorry.
That's a good strategy. Yeah, I mean, I don't tend to get involved in anything.
That's like, nice, babe.
Zeros. Because I don't know, especially, I mean, I have a lot of, my kids play a lot of sports and I just play dumb. Like I act like I don't know what's going on in the game. Like people want to come and talk about ice time and, whatever, batting order and this. I'm like, what? I'm sorry. Like, what's the score? Like,
you're like,
don't talk to me about that.
Yeah.
Like, just make sure people know that you are not the one.
Don't talk to me. Just, or have that resting bitch face on lock.
No, I'm friendly. I smile at everybody. Like, I'll say hi. But I always say that water finds its own level. Like you will find your people.
You do find your
at the
people,
schoolyard,
absolutely.
At sports, at daycare, whatever. Like all you need is like one. ally that you can talk. And if they're not there, then you put your fucking AirPods.
Earbuds. No one knows.
AirPods.
Overrated, underrated earpods. Earbuds.
And just ignore everybody. Worst case.
Yeah, I like it. Creating some distance is good.
Yeah.
You don't have to allow everyone to have access to you. It's up to you.
You absolutely should not.
You can be a VIP club.
Yes. Yes, exactly. No. Exactly. You're not allowed in. Okay. Last question from the audience is, how would you handle it if another mom told you that your child was not being nice to theirs?
Well, I tell her that I would talk to my child about it, and there's always like 3 sides to the story.
Yes.
So I definitely talk to him about it and see what went down and see if I can kind of troubleshoot there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Like, really, what can you do? It depends what age they're at too. Like, sometimes I remember early on, like when they're toddlers, they're like, your kid hit my kid. And it's like, they're fucking 2. They throw shit at each other all the time. You know, you can teach your kid boundaries, but it's different when you're dealing with a 2-year-old, 5-year-old, 10-year-old, right?
Correct. Yeah.
What about you? What would you say?
I don't have to answer this hypothetically.
This happened? Do we have a situation?
We had a situation with one of my kids, and there were some issues in the classroom with one kid in particular. And I just made communication lines completely open with the mom. Mm-hmm. Like, I was like, here is my number. You reach out to me like anytime anything happens. If your kid comes home upset over something, like, I want to be the first to know. Mm-hmm. So like keeping an open line of communication with the parent of the kid
that's smart,
is in
you don't
question.
Get your wires crossed.
No. And it's like, we're all going to need to do this together. Yeah. Because as you said, there are 3 sides to every story. Yeah. So like something in the middle of what my kid's telling me and what her kid's telling her. So sharing what the kids have said to us with each other was important, because it kind of like illuminated some things on both sides. Mm-hmm. And then I just, kept having, my kid was young at the time, but conversations about how like, if he was like, I just don't want to be friends with him. You're like, okay.
You don't have to.
You can still be kind and polite. Like, you don't have to be mean to anybody. That's not how we treat people. And the issue is resolved. So it worked.
That's great.
Whatever that was.
You have a good case study.
We do have a good case study. But yeah, I definitely, like, number one piece of advice is like totally open conversation with that other, because that other parent, like if it's your kid that has inflicted harm, that other parent is hurting on behalf of their kid. So if they know that you care
that
about
makes a
them
big difference,
and you care about their kid, and you don't think that the behavior that happened was
and you're not
acceptable.
Taking sides.
No,
like,
you're not.
Just like coming at it like fully trying to resolve it and find a solution.
Yeah, exactly. You're like solution oriented, not blame oriented. Just like, let's get to the bottom of this so that your kid is happy and my kid is happy, and like we don't have to deal with this anymore.
Look at us. I'm telling you. Look at motherhood turning us out to be these humans. Who would have thought?
Not me.
Not me.
Okay. This is going to be a little different, overrated or underrated, because we're
doing
not.
It.
Yeah, exactly. We're not like surprising each other with it.
No.
So let's go maybe one for one.
Okay.
And let's start with what we think is overrated.
Okay, so I might get shut down for this. The Swifties are going to come get me, but I think Taylor Swift is overrated. Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan of her music, but that has nothing to do with it. I just think it's been pandemonium in the city.
You're just over the traffic.
I'm over the traffic. It was already fucking bad enough. Now that Tay-Tay's here, it's like next level. But the craziness around getting the tickets and the means that people are going to get these tickets, and the amount that they're spending. And then you have the moms and the parents that feel so bad because they weren't able to get the tickets, and now they're terrible parents. Like, it's just too much for me. Like, it's a little bit crazy. So I think it's a little bit overrated that way.
I think that's totally fair. My first overrated is gentle parenting.
You don't say.
I mean, listen, some of it makes sense.
Yes.
And like when people do it with boundaries firmly in place. I think that's, you know, kind of the only way that it works. But I do think that the pendulum is going to swing.
Mm-hmm. It's a little bit too gentle.
Yes. And like all this language
Gentle
of like,
hands?
my kid. Yeah. Oh, we don't say no. We just say like, it's like, you're kind of setting your kid up for a real big surprise.
But you're also in charge.
Yeah.
So it's okay to create boundaries and say no.
Yes.
You don't always have to say yes.
Yeah.
Your kid's not in charge.
Yeah. So my first overrated is gentle parenting.
Okay, my next overrated is microwaves. I fucking hate microwaves.
So do my parents.
I haven't had one, I would say, in like 15 years because like I only had it once in a condo. And then once we moved out to a loft, it didn't have one. And then we just never went back from that. Don't have one in my house. And I just think things taste better. And they're actually heated through properly on the stove. Like microwaves don't even work.
I know.
And then they take up so much space. They're ugly as fuck.
Yeah.
They're in your kitchen. So I think they're overrated and nobody should be using them. They're garbage.
Fair. My next overrated is yoga pants.
Yoga pants.
I think that it's completely out of control. Are you talking about
like the bootcut ones?
Because
I love my tights. So is that yoga pants? Or are you talking about aloe?
Yeah, I'm talking about like yoga specific branded pants that people think that they need to go to yoga or they need. Right. It's so, I don't know how we got duped.
They're outfits now.
Yeah.
And you must have the latest.
Yeah. But like to me, I hate seeing them out in the wild.
Yes.
Like I don't know why it bugs me, but I'm like, I just feel like everybody got tricked into thinking that they need to buy.
And everybody kind of looks the same now.
Totally. It's weird.
No, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, another overrated for me is QR code menus.
Oh my God, amen. I'm with the boomers.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, besides the fact that you have to like go look at it on your phone, I think that in itself ruins the entire vibe.
Totally agree.
You booked a restaurant, you're there with whoever, be it your partner or your friends, and you want to focus on each other and be in the atmosphere and the vibe of the place, and like the first thing they're making you do is look on your phone, and then you're scrolling and you're like, and then the light in your face, like all of it is just shit. And I appreciate a good menu too. So when you go to a good restaurant and like a beautiful paper menu comes out, it's just such a lovely thing. The weight of the book, like, why?
The feel of the leather.
I hate the QR. I get like instantly mad.
Do you ever ask for paper ones?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes they don't have it. And like the best is when I'm like, do you have a menu? Yeah, it's right there. There's like a little fucking square on the table.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Like, oh my God, get me out of here.
It ruins the experience.
I agree. I hate it. Fake eyelashes. I think people get lash blind and
it looks
don't
funny.
Realize how absolutely insane they look. And when they like struggling to reopen their eyes after a blink, or they're always
look like caterpillars
because there's a hair in their eye. It's like, of course there's a fucking hair in your eye. Like you're not supposed to have that many strands of hair.
But there's mascara too. Like there's amazing mascara. Why do you need that much eyelash where it's like touching your eyebrow? I agree with you.
It looks so bad.
You'll be happy to know though that an upcoming trend is like not wearing mascara. They're showing it on the runways.
Did I set that trend?
I ditched
know, mascara
because
years
it looks great when you don't wear mascara. There's something effortless and chic about it. Yeah. So hopefully
the pendulum is swinging. Perfect.
Went from like huge lashes to no lashes.
Back into my zone. Perfect. What else you got?
Overrated, playing with your kids. Okay, so I will preempt this. There's like, depends how old they are, depends what you're doing. Playing make-believe, I always didn't like. Playing Legos when my kid was young, I did when I was a little bit high because that became fun. Because it's just like, it's kind of boring and you want to use your like adult brain and you can't. You're just like, oh, like, and your kids are like, I'm gonna pour you tea, and you're like, oh, like, what do you want to order? What kind of ice cream do you want? I'm like, I don't fucking care. But the older my kid got, and when he got into sports and stuff, what I like doing with him now is like shooting hoops or like kicking around a soccer ball, that kind of stuff I'll do. But otherwise, no.
That's why I had 2 kids, because I was like,
so they can play with each other.
Keep me out of this. You play with each other. Call me if someone's bleeding, and then otherwise, like I'll be your snack bitch, and that's about it.
Snack bitch.
I'm fine with it. I make a good snack. What else do we have here? Oh, on the same beauty tip, manicures.
Yeah, not necessary.
People are fucking crazy about manicures these days.
Yeah, and the fake nails too. But what are they called? They're like
gel.
Yeah, whatever they are, and that like really sharp.
Yeah,
the scratchy look.
I just, maybe if I had unlimited time, like if I had unlimited, I just cannot imagine going to a nail salon and like burning an hour or 2 hours.
And you can't even use your hands.
And then you can't use your fucking hands.
Like, what are you doing in there?
Like, I'm a gardening gal. Like, I
like real nails.
Yeah.
And just putting like a basic top coat over and calling it a day and just keeping them clean and neat. And like, I think that's definitely like an underrated thing.
Yes.
It's like just normal human nails.
Well, and then they look nice. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, the color of my nails are nice. They didn't look like that when I was getting them painted all the time, but that was like literally the last time I went for a manicure was before my first child was born.
And the fake nails, I just had this conversation the other day with two girlfriends of mine. They're too plasticky. So they were telling me that my nails are sharper and more scratchy. So when they like go to scratch and itch, it like actually fails because they're like kind of soft. Where like real nails will do the trick.
Yeah, of course.
Which goes for sex too, by the way, guys. Had to throw that in there.
Hot tip. Okay, what's your next one?
Want to do a few more? I have fans and noise machines for both of us as overrated because a lot of people use them to relax and to sleep, and we get anxiety if we get into a hotel room. We can hear a fan. It's fucking over. I've like climbed on top of couches and tried to disable.
Yeah,
things.
Me too.
Yeah,
I can't. I don't like sleeping with noise. I don't like sleeping with lights.
Yeah,
like I need to be in like it's got to be like asylum vibes.
Yeah,
pitch black, no noise.
What else you got? Overrated. Got some more here.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Like,
especially now.
Maybe if I lived in like the middle of nowhere and I didn't have access to things all the time, but I'm like,
it's because everything's there. So the craziest part is that like not only your regular stuff, but like people are full on buying like fashion, shoes, skincare, all of it. Like you get a one-stop shop. And of course they do like Prime and they like build you up to whatever. But
listen, I have Prime because Amazon is my worst case scenario retailer.
Yeah.
Like if I've already looked in like 3 other places and I've come up empty handed, then fine. I'll order it on Amazon and I know
or if you're out of time.
Or right. And exactly when I'm in a, so that's why I have Prime, because when I do need something, I do need it to arrive within like 12 to 24 hours because I've left it to the last minute. But I will do lots of due diligence before I get to Amazon.
I think that's what's missing is that maybe people aren't doing that first. Yeah. Now it's just they've become accustomed to always going there as their place.
Yeah, no, I look for anybody else's pockets to fill other than Jeff Bezos.
I know, he's got enough fucking money.
Please. Like, ridiculous. Look how he's spending it too. God. Anywho, next one.
Disney theme parks.
Totally.
I mean, I wrote a blog post about it, and the blog post was born from the fact that I was like bitching them out on text with you, Ariane, and you were like, you need to write about this.
Yes.
Overrated because it's so damn expensive.
Yes.
It's not even the cheaper option.
No.
So you could literally go to Europe or like have an all-inclusive somewhere beautiful, and then you're in this theme park the entire time, and it's weird and culty.
So weird.
And people talk weird. and you're constantly buying, like you're spending a lot of money in there.
Yes.
You're spending a lot of money on merch and like food, which is not usually, like some of their restaurants are really good. Like they are the more like, you know, fancy ones, but there is a lot of fast food too. And
of course there is, and candy and sugar.
It's just like,
and that's another huge corporation that like I'm happy to divert money somewhere else.
And it feels weird because I love to travel. So like entering those gates and you're like, oh man, are we really spending this much money on this? Like we could be in Portugal.
Yeah.
Or, you know?
Yeah, living your best life. Okay, let's do underrated.
Okay, let's do some underrated.
Yeah, let's be positive.
Things be positive. After dinner evening walks
Yes.
is a big one of mine because I do try for 2 walks a day. The one in the morning is more like a get my head straight, start for the day, like fitness girly, like that's the vibe. The evening walk is totally not that vibe. It's a stroll. It's nice now because it gets dark early, so you can walk by houses, and I'm not trying to be a creep or anything, but like when you look into people's homes, it's nice. Like it's cozy. You see what people are up to. They have their Christmas trees up. Like it's a nice thing. And you walk around the neighborhood and it's quiet. You don't see as many people out, and it's just like kind of vibey.
So you go for walks in the dark?
Yes, I do. I have a baton.
That was my next question.
Even joking because I used to walk around with just keys in between my fingers, as you do. And I don't walk in the alleys anymore. I used to. I only walk on really well lit streets.
Okay.
And I do have like a baton with me that I can whip
just
out.
Like whips out?
Yeah, it whips out and you can like crush a motherfucker. Just in case.
Oh my God. I'll stick with my daylight walks.
I mean, it would be nice if I had like a Doberman to walk.
Yes.
But I don't.
I used to have the worst guard dog ever. May he rest in peace, Edward. Bless up to Edward.
I love Eddie.
Pour one out for Eddie.
He wouldn't have been very good at night protecting you.
No, he would have jumped behind me like, get the baton. Okay. My underrated is being ugly in the house by yourself.
I love being ugly by myself.
Fuck.
Only women understand. There was a saying that's like, you know you're hot, but you think you're ugly. Like we know, like we're not trying to hate ourselves and say we're ugly, but like it's a nice feeling when you can just be ugly by yourself.
Like your hair isn't just like a gross, messy, greasy bun.
You got your period vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
You're pale.
Your, like, high-waisted undies.
Eyes are red.
Yeah. There's like, that's an underrated experience.
It's nice because it feels good and you don't have to look good for anyone.
Exactly.
Not even yourself.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, underrated. Women's intuition, which shocking to no one, is underrated. But I pulled this up and we can link it in notes. It's off an Instagram post from a doctor, don't worry. That women's intuition is a real thing that modern neuroscience is just beginning to understand and measure.
Oh, you don't say. Medical sciences are just catching up.
I mean, they
our shit.
You know, they mapped out the clitoris in 2000. What was it? 15 or something, or 5? 2005 was the first time that it was mapped out. Like, what in the actual fuck?
So
anyways,
the
female brain exhibits heightened mirror neuron activity, resulting in improved perception of nonverbal cues as well as enhanced empathy and emotional intelligence. And it has a stronger activity in the anterior cingulate cortex, enhancing emotional processing, error detection, and decision making.
Wow.
So
hire women.
Yeah. Underrated women's intuition. Because we always say like we have women's intuition. I follow my intuition. I follow my gut feeling. But now there's science behind it and we're fucking right.
It's
real.
I
just want to put it out there.
And we've been right. Proper pajamas.
God, I love proper pajamas.
I love a good pajama. I'm like such a
What's
pajama
a proper
head.
pajama to you?
A proper pajama is probably modal, like some kind of like wicking, super, super soft material. Always loose. Mm-hmm. I love a little button-up shirt situation.
Yeah, me too.
I have one with my initials
so cozy
on them, and they're like the best. But yeah, like there was a time in my life that I was just like, oh, I'll just like sleep in a t-shirt and these shorts. Like absolutely fucking not anymore. Like it either needs to be like a cute little night dress in the summer for when it's hot, or when sexy time is in order, or it needs to be like proper fucking old lady vibes.
Old lady. I do love that This Is Jay pajamas from Jamie.
Yes.
Because they have that, like they keep you cool. So if you're
they're bamboo.
Yeah. So if you're perimenopausal and if you're getting any kind of night sweats, like they do such a good job with that. And it looks like good too. So when I come down in the morning, I don't look like a slob.
Yeah. The little Henley one.
Yeah.
I love that one. Yeah. I love This Is Jay. I really do love my NYX pajamas too. The modal ones.
Yeah.
And
me too.
There's another brand that I love too that are a little more cutesy. They look amazing, but they have elastic at the ankle, which now I'm veering away from because I'm like,
you don't want to feel anything.
Yeah, exactly. I want it to feel like nothing.
I do love sleeping naked too, though.
Yeah. Every once in a while.
That's nice.
Not always.
What else do we have for underrated? kids sports.
Yes.
So the good and the bad and the ugly.
Yes.
Like, I do love it so much for the fact that, like, he's part of a team.
Yes.
He's like part of a community. He's ambitious about it. He's out there being physical. He's not on a screen. Like, I love sports for that. But nobody tells you how stressful it is. How much time it takes up. All our weekends are gone, like, as you know. And seeing your kid get injured out there and not getting involved because they got to work it out.
Yeah.
They got to work it out on their own with their coach, with their teammates, get back out on the court. Like, your motherly instincts want to
totally
run there and like save them. But it's a good lesson in like kind of letting them go. But it's underrated in the fact that, like, if you're not sure, because little kids do kind of suck at sports at the beginning, like little kickers, like when they're doing soccer, like,
well, they have zero coordination too, and it's like
you're like, what am I doing? I'm paying for this. My kid's not even good at this. But later, like, it's so good later.
Yeah, no, I agree. It took me a minute to come around to the kids sports. My partner's like so sporty, and I have male children, so it was just like a foregone conclusion for him that his kids were going to play sports. And I was like, I don't really see the value in this, but I'm happy now that I followed his lead on it, because my kids are so well adjusted.
Yeah.
They're extremely well coordinated.
Yeah.
I like the diversification of the social group. So, like, if shit's hitting the fan at school,
that's true, actually. They have another outlet.
It's the best. Yeah. And they've now been surrounded by kids that, like, have similar interests, want to play the same way. Like, my kids have, like, really hurt kids on the school field. But those are the kids that, like, play video games all day. Like, they don't know how to, like, not to say they don't know how to take a hit, but, like, they don't know how to take a hit. Yeah. Like, they don't know how to brace. They don't know, like, you can run a kid like that over, which is what it is, but it's nice for them to be around kids that like kind of play at the same pace and want to like be physical and whatever. It's all consensual. Everyone agrees to like play hard, and if they get hurt, they get hurt. And
for team sports, the nice thing about it too is like they have this feeling like they need to show up
totally,
and like they can't miss a practice or they can't miss a game because they're gonna let their team down, and I love that about it. But even for solo sports, like even if your kid is playing tennis or golf. Your kids love golf. My kids
play a lot of golf.
It's still good to be outside and off the screen. So we're battling these screens like so hard, and this is a great way to do it because they're out for hours. They come back tired, they sleep well. Like, highly recommend getting your kids into sports. And they're out of your hair too.
Bye. Okay, should we take a final break?
Yeah, we can take a break.
And then we have some rapid fire questions for each other, some surprises.
Oh no, I'm scared.
We'll be right back.
We are forever on a mission to find natural skincare products that actually work, and dare we say, we found the unicorn, and it's called Birch Babe. Birch Babe and Birch Baby is a female and family-led, award-winning sustainable skincare, clean beauty, and baby care company created and manufactured right here in Canada. We are absolutely in love with their product line. Our current favorites include their Natural Glow Face Serum, Golden Hour Brightening Vitamin C Serum, their lip and cheek tints, perfect for lazy makeup people like us, and their Skin Food Body Balm. To try any of their 60+ products for yourself, visit them online at www.birchbabe.com and use code RebelMamaBB15 at checkout for 15% off your first order.
Okay, we are back with some rapid fire action. Woo! Our favorite. Okay,
want to go back and forth?
I think so.
Okay.
We'll ask each other. We came up with these questions. We haven't showed them to each other. It was very difficult for us not to be.
I know. We're not debriefing each other. This is strange.
This is weird.
I'm always not sure what's going to come out of my mouth too. So I'm going to try to put a filter.
I made the questions pretty easy for you.
Okay, so you're not prompting me into anything.
No, exactly.
She knows.
Exactly. Okay, you want to go first?
Okay. Yes. Favorite way to treat yourself?
Ooh.
What's your little treat?
I really love buying shoes.
Retail therapy.
Footwear specific. Footwear or vintage. Like if I want a little adventure, then I'll go to a couple of vintage shops and like see what gems I can find. And that
we're
feels
overdue.
We
need a little vintage day.
Yeah.
Hop around. That's such a great feeling.
Yeah. But that always feels like a treat. And then I love treating myself to new shoes.
Okay, go. Don't feel bad about it. No mom guilt here.
I don't feel bad about it. Okay. What is your favorite restaurant right now?
Ooh. Oh man. That's a tough one. Let me think. I like classics, so I'm gonna go with Jacob's is always on my list as a favorite. But I do hang out in the East End a lot because I live here. East Side Social is a good one too. Anywhere, and Comrade, anywhere that has like the classics, a good burger, oysters, martinis, dark room, good menu that's not a QR code. It's like my vibe. But Jacob's is my go-to for sure, because like that Caesar salad, that'll never go out of style.
No, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with that. What else we got?
Okay, I got you. Okay. Favorite vacation destination, and you can't just say beach because you're gonna say beach. So is it Mexico, Jamaica, Bahamas? I know it's one of those.
It is one of those. It was Mexico for a long time.
Yeah.
But the vibe has changed significantly. So I've been spending a lot of time in Bahamas lately. My sister relocated there. So anything to be with her again, sister.
It helps that she's in the Bahamas.
Definitely, yeah. I'm happy she
wouldn't be like... sister if she was in like Winnipeg.
I moved to Alaska. Cool. See you never. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the Bahamas vibe. I mean, it's not like a party island at all. It's super
so
relaxed.
Beautiful to the sand.
And you get there in 3 hours, and it's such a tiny island that like wherever you're staying is no more than like a half-hour drive from the
and you're
airport.
Close to Miami.
You're so close to Miami. You're not gonna get, I mean, how long are you really gonna go for? But yeah, that's been a really good travel destination for us lately. Like, yes, I actually did have what's your favorite travel destination down as a question too. So why don't you answer the question as well?
I love me some Europe. I love the beaches too, but I love beaches in Europe. And Greece is probably my number one. Italy and France and Portugal, all those, anything down at the bottom there on the coast is like very special. But the Greek islands are just, I think, the best place ever. Between like the water, the Aegean Sea, the Mediterranean, the food, like it just, everything hits. It's perfect. I could stay there forever.
Yeah. Fair.
Who is your style icon besides Jeff Goldblum?
Oh, that's the only one.
Come on, I know.
Okay, I have other ones. I love Kelly Wersler, the interior designer, but her style is also like, her fashion is incredible. The one and only Lisa Corbo.
Oh, of course. Our fashion mom
forever.
I look to her for fashion and style inspo all the time.
Endless inspo over there. Caroline de Maigret.
Oh, yes.
She's a classic.
One. She is a classic. How to be Parisian wherever you are.
Yeah. Giovanna, what's her last name now? She's married Engelbert or something like that.
With her, she's very much your vibe.
Yeah, she's the creative director for Swarovski now. And I love her vibe. Jenna Lyons. Lyons?
Yeah, I don't know.
She's like obviously the coolest housewife now. Like nobody can touch her at all. But yeah, that's probably the roster.
That's a good
Jeff
roster.
Goldblum is at the top.
Jeff
of the
Goldblum,
pyramid,
we know. We know how you feel about Jeff.
Yeah, like
I hope he watches the show one day or sees us on Instagram and like checks in.
I would fucking love that.
That would be amazing.
Life goal achieved. Okay, what is your most prized possession?
I would actually have to say my books and my jewelry, because I mean, all the objects in my home and everything I own is pretty much curated very well and it's meaningful. But my books I've been collecting for a long time, and I just, in my mind, I'm building a library that like I can pass on to my kid, and it's like spans so many different things, and it'll give him so much insight into who I was too, right?
Totally.
So there's a lot of different authors in there. And then jewelry, because it really is so meaningful to a specific time, and like you buy something to commemorate something, or you receive a gift from someone, and you carry it with yourself. And I feel very naked without my jewelry. Like I feel like if something were to happen to me and I didn't have my jewelry on, that would be the worst case scenario.
But where's my jewelry?
Where's my jewelry? Okay, so my question, rapid fire, but might not be so rapid, is is one of your favorite memories of ours together? We've had a lot.
I would say everything that had to do with our first book tour.
Oh, interesting.
Like when we went to New York together
and got stuck.
That was like
locked out of our apartment.
But we had so much fun. Like everywhere we went for like 2 days.
It was an adventure.
It was so much fun. Chicago was really fun too. LA was amazing.
When we saw Erin Wasson, that was one of my favorite moments. And she looked us up and down, and then she gave us the like, okay, and we're like, we're cool. Die now.
But yeah, I feel like that era, that was like
before the pandemic.
Yeah, 2018 or 2019. Yeah. Like that was a great year.
We didn't know how good we had it.
We didn't know how good we had it.
We didn't know, and then everything went downhill after that. No. Not for us in general, but as the pandemic.
Yeah. But those moments were probably some of my favorite. I also felt very cool when we were included in Toronto Life's best dress list.
That was a good moment. That was a really good moment.
That was a good one.
Yeah, we felt pretty validated.
Yeah, we were like
nice. So we are cool.
Thank you, Toronto Life. Yeah. What are yours?
I don't know. I always think about how we make it work. So obstacles come up all the time. Yeah. And like, when we were in LA, there was wildfires. When we were, taking photos in Joshua Tree, it was fucking freezing. And Ariane kept telling us not to have cold face.
We're like, it's -1.
But it's cold. So it's little things like that. It's the little moments where it's like, we never let things bring us down. We laugh about it and we just continue forward. And I love that about us. So it's like my favorite.
Yeah, again, it goes back to like how much of a pleasure it is to own a business with a friend.
Yeah. Well, we're very lucky because there's some people that go into business with friends and it doesn't end well, but I think we're very rare in what we have. We like literally haven't had an argument in 10 years.
I know.
Which is crazy. Everything is just like open for discussion, open ideas. We talk everything through, and it's I think we respect each other though. And that's probably where it comes from.
Yeah, 100%.
Anything else?
What's the best party you've ever been to?
Oh, babe. What the fuck? Oh, man. Well, last year's Soho House Christmas party was a fucking banger. So, like, I can't forget that one. But we've had so many parties in our life. Like, I would say one of my favorite memories of partying and with you is probably BPM in Mexico, because it was our whole Toronto crew, but we were in Mexico. We were at all the clubs. We were staying together. We were traveling together. It was just like we didn't have kids. It was the best time.
Yeah, those were the best times.
Any parties stand out? There's been so many parties though. Like sometimes I forget. Facebook memories comes up, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a great night.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, there were definitely parties at the BPM festival that stand out.
Yeah.
We had Danny Tenaglia at Circa way back in the day. This is like a whole other conversation from a whole other life, but that party we shut down when the movie theater beside opened at noon.
Oh my god! They're like, we're having matinees. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. Excuse me. The bass is really messing with the theater sound. That was fun too. Yeah. I mean,
I would say also house parties. We've had some epic house parties. Like Christmas party at your house was always fun.
Yeah.
The time Marlo invited her entire family to my house after her movie, that was also fun. Like I love the house party vibe too, because our friends are a good time.
Yeah.
And we're a good time.
Yeah,
apparently.
Totally. We don't need much. Okay, my last one for you. A quote to live by.
Okay, so and it's like kind of cliche, but it works both ways, and that's why I like it, is this too shall pass.
Yes.
Because it works both ways. So when you're on the up and you're happy and you're joyous and excited and things are going well, be present and be in that moment, because it ain't gonna last.
Totally.
And same with when you're down in the dumps and you're having a hard time and it's really bad, that's also gonna pass. So always know that everything is temporary. You know, everything changes all the time. Tomorrow's a new day, and that's it.
Love it.
Okay.
That's very you.
Thanks, babe. My last question for you.
Oh.
Which is, what is one thing people may not know about you? That's like kind of like.
One thing people may not know about me.
I know what it is. Well, no, one of mine for you would be like that you're the youngest, but the most mature.
Right. Yes.
Like,
I am the baby of our friend group. I'm 37.
Yeah, and we're all in our 40s.
Everybody else is in their 40s and 50s now.
But you reel us back, and you're the most responsible and practical. You're always like, all right, guys. Like,
yes. I've always played the role of the like maternal figure.
Yeah, we call you, like sometimes Kara will be like, did you tell mom? I'm like, I will be.
Yeah, that's a good one. People think that I'm more like fun than maybe I might actually be.
No, you are fun. I feel like, yes, you're the most mature.
But responsible.
Yeah.
Responsible fun, everybody. It's very important. It's a good balance. I don't know. I moved around a lot as a kid.
Yeah, people wouldn't know that you're from, well, not from, but like you lived in BC.
Yeah, I started in Vancouver. Yeah, moved a lot. It kind of made me super adaptable, I think. Yeah, I was on my own at like, I think before I even turned 18.
Yeah, maybe that's why you're mature.
Yeah, for sure. My parents were like, we're moving to England. Bye.
Like, good luck on you. I love your parents. That's not gentle parenting.
No, that's probably why I'm like, what the fuck is gentle parenting? But yeah, those things probably.
Okay, interesting. All right.
Okay.
There you go. We did it.
That was fun.
I know. It wasn't as scary.
No. And that's it for season 4.
Yeah, that's it. We'll be back.
I was going to say season 5 is just around the corner.
Season 5 will be a good one.
We're not going to take the length of break we took last time. We're not going to rebrand again.
Yeah, no, we'll just come back normally. Yeah. We have a studio now.
Yeah, now we know what we're doing, so don't you worry. So we wanted to say, though, thank you, sweet listener.
Yes.
For tuning in today and always to the Rebel Mama podcast. We hope that you guys are enjoying watching it on YouTube.
They are, according to the views. And just listening to us rant and yap.
Yeah, we hope you've learned and you've been inspired. And we also want to hear from you if you have any fun ideas for us.
Yeah, you can DM us.
Yeah, exactly. Slide into our DMs anytime. And yeah, just thank you. This has been so nice.
I know, I love it so much. I love that this is our job.
We're so lucky.
Share this. Yeah, and we get to also bring people on that can share their inspirations and influence. Yeah,
can't always just be us.
I mean, it could be, but it's not.
No, we have to share with the class.
To diversify.
Yeah, exactly. With our one man.
We did have one man.
Yes, we did.
Robbie.
It's called DEI. Look it up.
It's kind of like a DUI, but not really.
Oh, please like, rate, and review this podcast wherever you listen, and feel free to share it with anybody that you think would enjoy it. This podcast was produced by Space Monkey inside the Soda Studio. The song you're listening to is called Name and Number off the debut album Unrequited by Roshan. Stream it now on Apple Music.